All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to BayernNow, the ultimate Bayern Munich fan channel. It's a new beginning. This is going to act like the preview for the Leverkusen game that's coming up. It's a new beginning for a lot of teams in the Bundesliga, a new beginning for Bayern players. Sadio Mane has been very critical of his own form, apparently. There's reports circulating that Mane he just wants to be better, He just wants to be good, And there's even sources saying he's trying to redo the trade, redo the swap deal where he gave his hairline away and took off, his offside awareness in exchange for a better hairline. So maybe that's where Mane went wrong. He gave up his hairline and got a better one and got, rid of his offside awareness. So Sadio, we wish you the best. Look, there's a lot of players in this team that aren't in form, that really needed a break from Bayern. We needed a break from these players. Watching us miss chances wasn't fun. And you know what's funny? Speaking of new beginning, so Nagelsmann put the players through 75 minutes of a session which was focused on converting chances from all positions and situations, headers, volleys, rebounds, 1v1s, etc. So the players are being taught to finish chances. Our problem hasn't been creating chances. Look, it's the manager's job to coach the team to create chances for themselves. It is not the manager's job to somehow make the players finish their chances. But by focusing on finishing and attacking moves, it might help the team actually score a lot of goals. I think we had like 90 shots in the last 5 games and only like 5 goals or something, which is kind of ridiculous if you ask me. So we do need better scoring. I don't even think we scored a volley from outside the box this season. How many long shots have our midfielders scored? We need Goretzka, Kimmich, Sabitzer, and everyone else to start making runs into the box at the right moment and scoring and assisting. If we don't have a striker that makes the small movements and moves defenders, we need third man runners like Goretzka. He's so good at it. And speaking of Leon Goretzka, thank God he isn't injured, but apparently him and De Ligt had a challenge today. De Ligt, hurt his ankle. He got treatment for a long time, but he was able to continue the training session. So no injuries, thank goodness. So yeah, we're going into Leverkusen with a full team. Bonasar isn't there, which makes it a more complete team, if you ask me. But I feel bad for him because he's missing the World Cup with Senegal, and he was actually a good player for them. But let's terminate his contract, and I'm sure his injury history will be erased, and then he can play for Senegal. So, yeah, Salihamidzic Brazo said this about Mane's recent form. Sadio still needs a bit of time. He has to get used to the Bundesliga, but he will. I love how I know how it is to join a new team in another city, another country with another football culture. Yeah, Mane has to adapt to the Bundesliga. There's this notion that players need to adapt to the strength and physicality of the Premier League. And it's so crazy because that could be applied to any league. The Spanish league, players need to adapt to the technical aspects of that league. The Italian league, players need to adapt to, playing a 3 at the back every weekend. I think every Italian team plays a 3 at the back at this point. They all play 3 at the back. So that same thing could be said for any league. The Bundesliga is the highest pressing league in Europe. We have Leipzig, Bayern, Dortmund, Leverkusen, Frankfurt. These are all high pressing teams. So you can imagine every game is just high pressure. You get very there's a benefit to that. There's a disadvantage. The disadvantage is you don't get to show that moment where a player gets the ball flicked over their head and a nice little skill move happens and individual quality just shines. What you need a lot of the times is team play, getting the ball through channels and all sorts of things, which ends up meaning the game is faster. But because it's higher pressure, it means there's more space in behind defenses as teams squeeze up to press high, which means if you have a fast attacker, they have time and space to run in behind. So that's the benefit. That's the disadvantage. So that's, the Bundesliga. So Mane needs to adapt. And I'm not going to make the show about Mane because that's just stupid. but he is one of the players that we needed to be in form. He's not, he was crap against Barcelona. He was crap against Inter Milan. Actually, he's been crap for a while, but he scored a penalty, and I think he might have scored 2 pens and a tap in, and everyone was like, oh, Mane. And then everyone was like, Liverpool miss Mane. Honestly, it can't always be, Mane, misses Liverpool and Liverpool misses Mane. It could just be Mane needs time to adapt, and Liverpool signed a bum in Darwin Noodles to try to replace him. And I put pressure on Mane because he's not some young guy. He's 30 years old. He should know his way around the offside awareness. He should understand that rule. And he's also the highest paid player at Bayern right now. So he does deserve pressure because he's getting paid to be pressured. And I think he'll live through it. Now, personally, Mane is not a baller I personally enjoy watching. He's very erratic, Mane is like a boner. Just hardcore, just hard. Whereas, someone like Neymar, oh my gosh, is like the promised land in the body of a 10 out of 10 woman. That's what Neymar is. That's more beautiful than the boner, right? That's more desirable than the boner. Do you understand what I'm saying? I just came up with that for no reason. Well, I'm just explaining, how that would work. So that's what Mane is, right? He's hardcore. Well, a player like Neymar and Messi, they're like the thing you actually want. Like, so why am I saying these things, man? I'm a terrible person. There's kids watching too. I need to sound better. Well, that's the difference, So Mane is a very hardcore person. He presses. His intensity is great. He presses like just everywhere. He's covering his heat map. Just everything's red on the whole field. He's making tackles. He's a really useful player. But sometimes, it doesn't look as good as it should, as you want it to. He gets his moments to look really good, really pleasing, but a lot of the times his touches are his dribbling is When you watch Musiala go dribble, you're like, damn, how do you do that? When you watch Mane dribble, it's like, okay, he pushed him and powered his way through and used his pace. I need to stop. The duo Musiala-Sane is fantastic. Musiala and Sane haven't. Okay, people used to think, oh, it's Musiala or Sane, and then the Sane and the Musiala stands on Twitter just got confused. They were fighting each other. Like, Sane should start. Musiala should start. No, Musiala. Someone's in the back. What about Gnabry? Just quietly. So they got confused because Sane and Musiala play better with each other than without each other, right? Musiala just understands Sane, and Sane understands Musiala. They both love layoffs, so they kind of have the same footballing wavelength. Some players just understand each other. I think you could say it was the same with Robin and Philipp Lahm. They just had an understanding of each other. And it was Ribery and Alaba at left back and right wing or left wing. They just understood, where's he going to be? Here's where I'm going to be if he's here. So sometimes you can have players that play similar and understand football in a similar way. So I think I like that a lot. And, people used to say Davies will not play well if Sane plays. And it was so dumb because what they were saying was bowlers can't play with bowlers. Nah, do you see how Davies plays with Sane? They're very just casual. They love football. They're bowlers. Bowlers find a way to play with each other. Even if it means one player sacrifices the strength to give the other player license to do certain things. Davies knows Sane is going to lose the ball, so he puts himself in positions where he can quickly recover. And I don't know. And Sane knows he's going to lose the ball sometimes, so he always runs back and tracks back. And you see that Sane for Germany. Look, they used to say Sane was lazy, his attitude wasn't there. Well, it all switched because now it looks like sometimes he has no ability, but now his attitude and everything else is perfect. So his work rate is immense, which tells me certain players just need to learn, under different coaches. Maybe Pep wasn't really reaching into Sane's heart and telling him, hey, press. But now, Sane shows his quality, and I can't wait for Sane and Musiala to come back. Also, I will say this. I mean, guys, we're talking about Mane here, but this is a new beginning for Thomas Muller as well. Muller hasn't really been hitting the notes, the nodes like I want him to. He's been rapping off beat, bro. Like a lot of these new rappers, the beat is like, and then they're over here like, yeah, money, and the beat, bro. You're trying to catch up to the beat like Timo Werner trying to score a goal. Like you're never gonna reach it. So, bro, relax. Just rap on beat, on rhythm. So the flow was all over the place. I think Muller's, his passing. Muller sets the intensity for our games. And I think Hansi Flick put him on the bench. And I would say Germany looked better, to be honest with you. Everything flowed better, especially in the final third, with Musiala getting the responsibility. And I know that sounds terrible to hear, but I feel like Muller has slowed down a little bit, man. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, this guy's a legend, one of our greatest, footballers, legends, everything. But it's okay that he slowed down. It's okay that, maybe he isn't completely on rhythm. He's 33. He's allowed to be, iffy. He's allowed to slow down slowly. All right? I don't think Muller's going to get another contract at Bayern. It's not going to happen. He has one until 2025 now, or 2024. I'm not exactly sure which one. That contract is going to end, and he's probably going to retire and join our board after a few years. Dude, I think people have this assumption that Thomas Muller's always going to be, bro, you're starting to see him, like his speed isn't the same. Bro, he's old now. He's 33. Come on, guys. I hope people actually agree with me, because I don't want comments where people are like completely misunderstand what I'm saying. Oh, you hate Muller. Like someone's sitting there like, he hates Muller. No, Muller's one of my favorite Bayern players of all time. This guy I can identify with this guy. But it's okay to say he is slowing down to some extent. By the way, it's also a new start for Serge Gnabry. Serge Gnabry started the season very poorly. 2 goals, 1 assist. I don't even remember any of the goals or assists. So it's a new start for him. Dude, he has to perform. He's making a lot of money. He's a top earner. He's going to get sold next summer if he doesn't change this form. You can't say, oh, it's the system, because he has played under Nagelsmann with a similar system. And it's not the system if your touches are awful and if you're trying to dribble and it's not working. I don't know. And if you're getting chances but you're not scoring them. So you can't blame the manager. You can't blame the tactics. You can't blame the system. You can blame the player in this instance. Gnabry needs to look deep down into himself and realize that his spot is not guaranteed. I mean, he'll start a game here and there because he's older than Jamal, but Jamal Musiala is just a fan favorite now. So he needs to understand that if I want to keep my spot in this team, I need to play a certain way. He's also 27. He needs to understand that he needs to start playing with responsibility. Sane has had games where he wasn't the best, and you just see him, visibly working harder. So the fans, they're getting behind Sane. Like even if Sane has 5 bad games now, we all know he's capable of great. He's been crucial in our Champions League performances. Like, I feel like Sane is, our biggest big game player. He scores when it matters and when we need him to, but he misses some chances when we're trying to score, man. But he always scores when we need him to. So, Sane's a fan favorite now. Well, half and half. Like, people look at Sane and they're like, all right, when we're not scoring, He'll make a run, great touch and score. Or when we need to close out a game, he'll be that guy with the temperament to score in the last minute and keep his composure. Because, bro, Sane just has the temperament. You know, certain players just crack under pressure. I feel like if there was a Champions League final, last penalty, I would make Sane take it. Because he will score. Like, you know, if there's a last-minute free kick, Sane might miss 10 other free kicks in the game, but I'd still pick him. Because I feel like he just has that gene in him where he can play crap and score 2 goals and win you the game, win you the trophy. So we like Sane, right? He has the temperament. But Gnabry, it just feels like he's getting worse instead of trying to get better, right? So we need Gnabry to have a new beginning. Man, I'm loving this show. Hey, hit the like button if you haven't. I'm loving the show. I'm just trying to tell all of you that each player gets a new chance after this international break. So, hey, let me know your thoughts in the comments as well. Muller's the only one that's stopping Bayern from playing a 4-3-3. I'd probably agree with you, to be honest. I think it's a new beginning for Kingsley Coman because he's coming back soon. Oh, Musiala got voted, or he's the top 5. Wow, he's the highest-rated teenager in Europe's top 5 leagues on who scored. That's crazy. That's nice. Matisse Tell resumed team training. Okay, it looks like Mazraoui and Davies, Mane will come back tomorrow because their teams played like yesterday or the day before yesterday. What day is it? Okay, it's Tuesday. All right, their teams played yesterday, so it wouldn't make sense to, yeah. So they're gonna come back and get a nice little break. But Mane was at the Sabana Strasse today, just enjoying himself. Like I said, I already talked about Goretzka's knee. Herbert Hainer expresses his backing for Julian Nagelsmann once again. We're absolutely convinced of him and will celebrate much more success with him. Everyone knows that we really have to give it all now. We'll see another team on Friday, a winning one. I think, yes, if Bayern win 4-0, 3-0, and we play well, don't concede, dude, I'm telling you, everyone's going to forget the draws because, Union Berlin have to play Dortmund. And then, Dortmund beats Union, which I doubt. I think Union will win from a corner or something, score a header. Then, yeah, I think, we're back in the game, right? We're only 3 points off, or 5 points, actually. I think a lot of teams will love the fact that there was an international break. Leverkusen also, they have a reason to want to improve. Florian Wirtz is coming back in October, boys! Yes! I thought it was next year. Some people were saying, 2023. Bro, apparently he's making his recovery. Mid-October is his expected return, and Flick wants to take him to the World Cup. Bro, bring my baller Wirtz back! My baller Wirtz. Imagine Florian Wirtz, Musiala in the same team. Who's going to make the in-behind runs? I think Wirtz is like, the creativity guy. He gives you the cute passes and nice turns. Musiala gives you the dribbling, the running through teams. Look what he did to Harry Maguire. He took his manhood. Harry, man. Turned Harry into Perry. Just destroyed him over and over again. So, yeah, fellas, that's about it. Mohammed Umar with the super chat. Hey, appreciate you, my man. Also a member on the channel. This guy's a W-man's in the chat. Bayern must win or Nagelsmann should be sacked. It's true that Nagelsmann needs to start winning more games. It's very true that this club will sack him. Don't worry. The board is saying, we won't sack him. We back him completely. No, if he loses a few more games or keeps drawing, he's getting sacked. There's no question about it. Bro, we spent so much money this summer and we bought, some really good players. So, yeah, I'm sure. Look, if the manager isn't performing and the team isn't performing and the players in the dressing room is skeptical, we will sack Nagelsmann. It's a for sure thing, right? Bayern Munich, got rid of Thiago and Alaba, unfortunately, after we won a treble, got rid of our manager. He left. All those players left by their own accord. And this new board had to figure out how to rebuild the team identity. They did by renewing Gnabry, renewing Goretzka, renewing Kimmich, keeping that core 26-year-old player in here. And now we're moving from that era, from the old era where Lewandowski's gone now. Muller's declining visibly. And, now we have a new core, Kimmich and Goretzka. This new core has yet to lead this team to a Champions League. So they bought new players to add to this team. They bought Mane, a mentality monster, someone with great experience. They bought De Ligt, who solves a lot of our defensive issues. Lucas Hernandez is in the prime of his life after he gets back from injury, I have no doubt. Lucas should be back soon, too, to be honest. I think it was like 3 to 4 weeks or 4 to 6 weeks. Well, anyways, he should be back soon. So this team is new, it's different, and I can't wait for it. And this board knows they spent money. So if, certain people aren't performing a certain way, they're going to get sacked. That's just how it works, man. A robbery. Who replaces Nagelsmann if Bayern sack him? Exactly. That's why I don't think Nagelsmann's going to get sacked. Also, it's not his fault. Okay, I think maybe he's overcoaching our players and changing the systems and making substitutions, that don't make no damn sense to nobody, right? Yes, that happens. That is 100% true. But at the same time, our players are missing chances they should be scoring. And I think that's how we need to improve. Just need a clinical number 9, and we are golden. That's true. Look at Bayern's logo. Oh, my gosh. Why do people always bring up the Nazi logo that Bayern had? Like, do you realize there was no choice? The club could have, just said, no, we're not going to do this and, lose the favoritism of the Nazi regime. It happens. History happens. I don't think you can blame. Our president back then was a Jewish guy. So, it wasn't something Bayern willingly did. There's a good history with Bayern and what we did back then. And you look, Adolf had a lot of help from, the establishment back then. He was getting the appeasement deals from the rest of Europe. They were like, all right, just go into Poland. Okay. All right. As long as you stop here in Austria, you're fine. And then he kept doing it. So, there were a lot of countries that a lot of you are from that allowed that to happen. So, we had to step in, the USFA, and, help rectify a lot of Europe's mistakes. So, if anything, after after World War I, if they didn't completely destroy Germany, you wouldn't have had a figure like Adolf. Yeah. So blame, them damn Paris Accords or treaty, the treaty of 19 something. Blame that. Okay. Don't blame Bayern for doing what they had no choice but to do. So I hate some of this. Oh, look, the logo. They always bring it up, and it's so weird. It's also disgusting because I don't know. You're making it look like Bayern is that thing. I don't know. I'm disgusted by what some of these people do, man. I'm disgusted. Your players are not scoring. You cannot blame your manager. See, DJ Sav knows ball. Surely the players take responsibility. Yeah, that's why there was a 75-minute training session today that just solely focused on finishing chances. I say the same thing when we sacked Tuchel for no reason. Yeah, Thomas Tuchel was sacked for no reason. And Chelsea just lacked direction because they went for Salzburg's sporting director, and the Red Bull group just said, we're not going to let him go. So he stayed, and now you're looking for a new sporting director. See, what you should have done was say, all right, Tuchel, you get this season with these players, and it's not like it was Tuchel's fault, right? It was a newer team, so he was trying to get used to the players. Tuchel's a good coach. He would have coached Chelsea well. I just don't want Tuchel at Bayern. I don't want Tuchel at Bayern. So like I was saying, right? That was what they did wrong. They did that very foolishly, Chelsea. And now they don't have direction. They don't know who's going to be their sporting director. What they should have done was bring in a sporting director, that wasn't completely biased to or against Tuchel. And then, you start, implementing the ideas. And if Tuchel isn't, improving the team by December, you sack him. Because you sack him now and bring in Graham Potter, and you don't have a sporting director. And these are players that you didn't necessarily buy for Graham Potter. Maybe they would have had an agreement with him that he might come in. I don't know. But now it's like a mix of players that no one knows what to do with. So now Chelsea will struggle more than they would have if they just kept Tuchel. It was a very stupid decision from Chelsea. And I understand why DJ Sav is saying that. And it would be a really dumb decision for Bayern to sack Nagelsmann, where we're losing. Yes, Nagelsmann has to be criticized for substitutions, his constant changing of our tactics. But it's not like we have no identity, or we can play football, right? He has coached some beautiful games. So I'm not concerned that we lack tactical identity, which is a main reason why you sack managers a lot of the times, either because they lack tactical identity or they don't have control of the players. But Nagelsmann seems to have the dressing room in a good position. And the rumors coming out that players were unhappy that they weren't playing, some of them might have some truth to it. In every rumor, there's some level of truth to it. But it's also very false that Nagelsmann has players that hate him. I think they're trying to implement his ideas. It's just he's changing them so much. So, yeah, I think we can obviously improve those things. Substitutions, he should quit bringing on players like Choupo-Moting when we need a goal. Just bring on Matisse Tel. He's certainly better than Choupo. Chelsea are suffering for sure. Vlahovic is the striker we need. He's too expensive right now. Honestly, it looks like Juve aren't happy with him. So, Juventus might let him go. I wouldn't mind Vlahovic at Bayern, man. But at the same time, I think he doesn't fit, the style of play I would want. I'd want a striker that's very mobile. Lewandowski was really mobile. Kane is mobile, which is kind of crazy because a few seasons ago, I wouldn't have told you that. Damn, this brother has a lot of offside weaknesses. Yeah, I don't think Vlahovic has the technical elegance I like in a striker. Look at the flicks Kane was doing, the movements he was making. Harry Kane has changed, and Fabrizio Romano said he's Bayern's #1 priority, our biggest dream. And I would love more than anything to have Kane at Bayern, man. I think he offers a lot, but also we should just give Matisse Tel a better chance. I think, Mane isn't playing better than him. Thomas Muller isn't playing that much better than him. No, maybe not Muller. Muller's okay. Muller's just declining, but he's still playing better than Mane. So let's drop Mane and bring on Tel. And when Tel isn't performing, we're not going to go, oh, we need a Tel to do so. No, we'll just say he's young. Duh. But if he scores, then, Mane can't play again. So, and he has scored for the 2 games he started this season. So why don't we just go with what works? Why would we need to play Choupo-Moting? Why? If we need a striker, Tel is that striker. I don't care if he's young. Bro, he works hard. He's built like he's 28. He's he has the mentality of a rock. And he's training well. And he's performing well when he plays. So why are we even having this conversation, man? And he makes good runs. He's a very mature footballer. I think this notion that because he's young, he needs to be treated like a child. Bro, I get it. We might treat a player from the Bayern Academy like that. But Tel isn't from our academy. This kid is from Rennes. He had a hard upbringing. He has worked hard in his life. If you remember me talking about, when he was younger, he went to, play for this team, and they said he was too young, and, and they didn't even have a spot for him. And he was like, all right, I'll prove myself. And he ended up proving himself. We can do those things with Tel. We can do something special here. Lautaro Martinez is cheaper. I don't know about that. The Netherlands played good football against Belgium. Y'all seen that goal? Oh, my gosh. Louis van Gaal ball in full effect. Imagine if Man United just kept Louis van Gaal, bro. Oh, jeez, man. Imagine they just kept him. And just, bro, the way they moved through the Belgium defense was just beautiful. Just ball here, ball here, ball here, ball here, ball here, ball here. And it's just all the way through the team, a tap in at the end. So, yeah, I was really impressed by that one sequence, man. It was so beautiful. I wish De Ligt and Gravenberch would get a chance. Also, we're talking about a new beginning. It's a new beginning for Gravenberch. This international break is going to do a lot of good for a lot of players. Gravenberch wants to be at the World Cup. Nagelsmann has no choice but to give him a chance because he did come out and say he was promised play time. And yeah, dude, here's what annoys me about the Gravenberch situation. He had a really good preseason. We saw him against Man City. All the cameos were good. And then he had a really good game versus Victoria Cologne. Him and Tell played really well, scored a goal, and got an assist, Gravenberch. So, he did everything. And he played in that central midfield role. And that was the best part about it. So he wasn't just, performing anywhere. He performed in his best role. He turns on pressure. He's a really good footballer. He's young. He wants to learn. He wants to play. Sabitzer was supposed to be sold. He wasn't. He got back in form. Goretzka comes back. He's immediately starting games, and he's getting in the team. But Gravenberch had a really good preseason, and anytime he comes on, he's coming on to be a right winger, attacking midfield. Bro, dude, Nagelsmann. Honestly, people were saying it in the chat. We can actually play a 4-3-3. I don't think we have enough midfielders to play it consistently. But if Gravenberch and Gravenberch, Goretzka, and Kimmich were on the field together, I think you tell Kimmich and I don't know, it could be a rotational thing where Kimmich, controls the build-up as he normally does. Gravenberch and Goretzka positioned themselves in between the lines a little bit higher, and our wingers hug the touchline. And then, that spreads the field a lot more. It means we have options in between the lines. We can play a little bit like Man City, when they didn't have a striker. And if it's Tell or Mane or Muller, they kind of have that false nine role and then there's a lot of interswitching. I think we could do it, a 4-3-3. But what has worked this season is a 4-2-2. Kimmich, Gravenberch could work. Gravenberch, Goretzka, no one's talking about this. I think giving Gravenberch more license to be involved in the build-up because he's really good at holding the ball and keeping it and just rotating possession. Tell him to, turn on pressure when he needs to. I think we could have a really good partnership there. Put Kimmich back a right back or something. I don't know. I'm saying if Kimmich wasn't available, or Sabitzer and Gravenberch could be, or Gravenberch, Sabitzer, and Kimmich. Sabitzer is a deep lying DM, and then I don't know, man. We could play so many different variations. We're blessed with depth, but Nagelsmann just wants to play Choupo-Moting, and thank God we don't have Tolisso, because I think Tolisso would be ahead of Gravenberch right now. So, yeah, we need to give Gravenberch his minutes, start him in a few games. He has proven it, and it's not like he's just asking because. Nah, he actually played well when he played, so why not, give him more of a chance? Yeah, I understand preseason isn't the same thing, but the sources, every source I read is Gravenberch is impressing everyone in training. They're impressed with his work rate and his technical ability. But he never starts. He's coming off the bench to be a right winger. So if he's playing in training as a central midfielder, and then he's coming on to be a cam attacking midfielder, I don't understand the logic. If it was like Gravenberch is lazy and they're not impressed, then I'd understand. But he's really impressing our team. So we don't want to stop that. We want to reward good things. And sometimes, bro, drop Kimmich. Put him on the bench. Sometimes. Not every game. Does Kimmich have to play every game? I get it. Like, he's important. But bro, like, the guy's going to kill himself. He has a black eye and he's playing. The thumbnail was Kimmich with a black eye. Kimmich plays every second. Why can't we rest Kimmich for playing Barcelona. Rest Kimmich. Let him come back and have a nice, great fitness to play in a big game. Why do we have to play him every minute, man? He never gets subbed off. It's always Kimmich. And then he moves to right back. Mazraoui gets taken off. Kimmich has to move to right back. Why? That doesn't make sense. So, 4-1-2-3 is also good for attacking. The hell is a 4-1-2-3, bruh? I've never heard of that. You think we should play a 4-3-3 false 9? Oh my God. Y'all think this is FIFA? He said false 9 variation. Well, we don't have a 9 at the club right now, like a dedicated 9. He said false 9. He said 4-3-3, but instead of this, it's this. It's 4-3-3. That's funny, man. He said the striker moves here. It's a false 9. It's a center forward, not a rule. Oh, that's funny. Hey, y'all playing FIFA, man. I appreciate you. From the Middle East. Can we just move Kimmich back to right back? No. Kimmich isn't going to want that. And, he's good where he is. I want Hansi Flick. It's obvious Flick will come back to Bayern one day. It's just a matter of when, not if. There's just so much about Flick that Bayern would, still like. He's a very modern manager, despite being from a different generation. So, yeah, man. I wouldn't mind having Flick back. W Stoinks, man. My stocks are going back up. Dang, dude. Why do I always buy stocks at the worst times, man? Terrible stock marketer. All right, fellas. It's going to be fun. Playing Leverkusen. I might just do a preview tomorrow. And should be fun. Should be very fun, actually. It's going to be a really interesting preview. So, there's a hurricane out in Florida. Bro, I'm not going to Florida, man. This is one of the reasons I would never visit. It's just U.S. Embassy warns Americans to leave Russia immediately. Oh my Lord, have mercy. What happened now, man? What happened now? I just read some Twitter thing. Bruh, I'm trying to. Can I just visit Germany without Putin trying to kill Europe, man? See, that was my goal. I was trying to visit, the Allianz Arena, and then little Vladimir, my friend, not my friend, decided to invade. Dang it, man. Darn it. Do you think we're getting Kane? I think there's a good chance. You think Mane can succeed as the striker? And hell no. God forbid. Mane's not a striker. He's not a striker. I think the only reason Liverpool played him there is because Klopp might have seen that he slowed down. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. This dude tattooed Messi on his hand. Bruh. What the hell, man? Bro, I like Messi too, but you tattooing another man's name on your, and he said he fulfilled the dream, bro. My man's talking like, bro, what are you talking about? You fulfilled the dream. You put another man's name on your body. Are you good at playing football? I'm actually supposed to play with a homie today. Yeah, I didn't play since COVID. The COVID thing happened. I played with my high school team, so I was part of the team, but it was really on and off. I was getting into my junior year, start taking it more seriously. I got my first car in 2020, so it was the time I was supposed to start really going to training and going to every game. I missed training half the times and I still balled out. But yeah, so I stopped playing because COVID happened and everything was shut down. And then I started making BayernNow streams. If you remember, if you've been here that long, we had like 40 subs, 15 subscribers, and I was like, thank you everyone so much for 45 subscribers and 100 subs, and then it was 1,000, and then when we won the Champions League, this channel was on like 3K, 3.5K, and now we're on almost 9K. So how crazy is that? So I stopped playing football, but now in the last month, we've been going to this university. They have this turf field. That's my city university. And I don't even go there. It's a public university. So my tax-paying money is going to that. So we'll just pull in and play for about 2 hours, kick the ball around, pass it, run. Yeah, so I think it's important to keep playing the beautiful game, because there's a reason I fell in love with the game. It's because I played it, not professional. No, in school, dude. Do you think this season Bayern will win the UCL? Well, if we do all of the things I said in this video and all the things you all know we should be doing, which is scoring our chances, not keeping the same consistent formation, then we should do better. Do you want Kane at Bayern? I'm a Spurs fan, so I do want him to win trophies. What the hell? Most Spurs fans are saying, Kane's going to stay because he wants to break some goal-scoring record. I think, Alan Shearer's top scoring record. And I get it. Like, it's a nice record, but it's so weird because, bro, it's not that deep. Like, if Kane goes his entire career without winning a trophy, it looks worse than having a top scorer record, because that means you scored a bunch of goals that ultimately led to nothing. So Kane will have an interest in joining a team like Bayern, where it's basically a guaranteed, competitive spot in the Champions League, to win it, not just qualify. We're not a top 4 team. We're a top 1 team, top 2, top 3 in the Champions League. So there's that element where it's, we're always going to be attractive to any player that wants to win. At the same time, we're a big club. We're bigger than Spurs by a lot. Do I want him at Bayern? Yes, absolutely. But that's with the conditions that we don't improve. We have a young player, Matisse Tau, who, he can do a lot for us if he, I suppose, just, focuses on his craft and, get the chance and has a breakthrough season and gives us 10 goals or something. So, yeah, man. What did Theo Baker injure, dude? Why is he at the hospital? Dang it. Denmark's kit released a statement. Wait, they moved their kit to be tone black? Man, this World Cup in Qatar was a really stupid idea. I mean, not only is it in November, it's also in a country that, I wouldn't mind it if it was in Qatar. If, thousands of people didn't die to build stadiums and the humanitarian thing. But, the same people complaining about it's hypocrisy, because I don't agree with the World Cup being in Qatar, but I'm also not a hypocrite. If the World Cup was in China, where they're killing people, in camps, like that are Muslim and Christian, no one's going to talk because China has all the money, right? So let's keep the same energy when China gets their chance to host the World Cup, please. And the Olympics and every other thing they host. Because across the street from that Olympics is a camp with people getting re-educated from their religious beliefs. So let's keep the same energy. Because that's worse. Actually, I'd say it's worse than what Qatar did. Not to say I would want the World Cup in Qatar. I just think we keep the same energy for everything. But yeah, I mean, look, some virtue signaling from Denmark, right? Like releasing a pure black kit. But I would agree with the message they're trying to send, that this is, the things that, were done to make this World Cup possible were bad. But I would also want people to complain when the World Cup is hosted in America. We have done a lot of damage to the world, especially the Middle East. The entire destabilization of the Middle East is entirely on the U.S. So, keep the same energy. All right. Thank you everyone so much for watching. You hope Germany reach the quarterfinal. I think they will. Thank you everyone so much for watching. Mia, and peace.